after 12th. So here are some basic announcements before we formally start our webinar so that you get the best experience of this virtual seminar or webinar as we call it. So first, if you can acknowledge, if you're able to hear me clearly, my audio is clear and there's no problem at your end, so that I can make other announcements. So you can give a yes. Okay. So yes, and a thumbs up would do. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this was the first thing. So we have kept all our audio levels at the optimum point. So in case you want to increase, decrease volume, please do that from your end. As far as video is concerned, we'll highly recommend that you view this webinar, you experience this webinar in speaker mode. And where do you find this? It is on the right-hand top of your screen where it says view. If you are connecting from desktop or laptop, there's something called as view. So there are two views, speaker and gallery. We will recommend that you go for speaker view. As far as video is concerned, you will see our video in turn as we present and we share our PPTs. But as speaker, we would sincerely request that if you can keep your video in an on mode. If your bandwidth permits and if your environment permits, you should keep your video in on mode, because that motivates these speakers when they make these virtual eye contacts. So it helps in the tempo of the webinar. So agar aap wo karenge, to that would help speakers. The second, you can keep your audio in muted mode, and whenever there is a question to be asked or a point to be shared, you can unmute. Though we will appreciate that you keep all your questions towards the end. During the webinar, both me and Anubhav sir, we may not be able to check our chat boxes, but there's an open house where we'll try and answer all your questions, which comes at the end of webinar. So you could keep your questions there. You could keep a copy and a pen ready with you so that if there's any important information you want to write, you can write down. We'll share some important contact numbers. We'll share contact numbers, WhatsApp numbers, where you could send a hi and get PDF of the entire presentation that we are going to make. So हम लोग एक PPT use कर रहे हैं, which has number of slides because there's a lot of information to capture and share with you. So you want a PDF of that, you can send a hi on a WhatsApp number and you can take the PDF. We'll send you the PDF after the webinar. So we'll share all these contact numbers, email IDs, how you can get on for a one-on-one counseling with us. So all that will be shared. So with that, I think there's another important request. We will also request you to please keep your screen name as your real name, as the name of student, or as the name with which you have registered. It helps us in two ways. We are able to take the attendance and keep track of it. And second, we'll be able to address you in the right and a proper manner. So I see that there's one participant who have joined with a dot sign. So I'll request that participant to please change the name to the real name of the student or the applicant or the participant, so that it helps us in both our objectives of keeping attendance and addressing you. With that, I think we are good to go now. Anubhav sir, I'll hand it over to you and we can start. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish ji. Me and Manish both literally, abhi to pichle 3 Sundays se we've been doing this. And this July month has been a study abroad month. This is the last seminar of this month now for the month of July. Now we are actually awaiting results of standard 10th and 12th. Today we are expecting probably ICSE results should come in of standard 10th. That's the announcement. So we've been talking about this study abroad thing for the entire month of July, but this is what me and Manish keep doing. So let me now get started. I think we have enough audience and it's 11:37 by my clock. So let's get started. So I share my screen and you would see this. Are you able to see my PPT? And this is how you will see my PPT. If everything is fine, let me now formally get started. So this is how you would, if you want to make some adjustments, please go ahead and make adjustments in your Zoom screen. Now, this is how me and Manish would continue addressing it. We would alternately address a part of PPT. I would start and then Manish would come in between, and then I would come back again in the last. And then both of us would take it forward for question answer session. It should last us somewhere about 45 to 50 minutes, the entire presentation. So it's 11:30 or 11:38. We can expect it to go by between 12:30 tak jana chahiye. So with that, let's get started. So what is this concept of these UT events? Well, these are value-added lecture workshops primarily to promote awareness. And this is what we do entire year. कई सारे पेरेंट्स मेरे से पूछने आते हैं, अनुभव सर आप करियर गाइडेंस दीजिए. So my sincere advice to them is please listen to these webinars. And we only do not talk about study abroad. We talk about engineering, medical, management, commerce, design, and so on and so forth. There are various webinars which we will do. So listen to all of these webinars. First explore कि आपको क्या कर सकते हो, what are the options that are available, and then decide. And then you can also definitely come and meet us. So these webinars helps you to take informed decisions. This is 7th in the series this year, study abroad after standard 12th. This is largely study abroad after standard 12th. We did master's seminar, then we did medical seminar separately, and now we are doing study abroad in general after standard 12th this Sunday. Coming up, there will be webinars coming up in August. Please look up our Facebook page or our Universal Tutorials website for what is the webinar coming up next in the month of August and September. So that's how we do it on a Sunday morning. Now, एक और request है, you know, before COVID, we used to do, me and Manish used to do these seminars, webinars in एक IMEI hall में करते थे. वहाँ पे हम सामने audience रहते थे, उनको address करते थे. But we found that this method is a better method on doing these webinars virtually through Zoom. ये बहुत efficient होता है. Here लोगों को आने में, सुनने में कोई तकलीफ नहीं होती है. लेकिन एक sincere request है, as a speaker, me and Manish, हम लोग ये black tiles देखते हैं Zoom की. हमको कोई audience दिखते नहीं है. Right now, I only have my colleague Manish, whom I'm looking at, and मैं उनके expressions देख पाता हूँ. And there's a gentleman who's logged in by Sara Mohapatra के नाम से. I think Sara के father हैं. Hello sir, thank you very much for keeping the video on. तो ये ऐसे reactions आते हैं ना, तो एक speaker को बहुत motivation मिलता है. तो मैं बहुत sincerely request करूंगा कि जो दूसरे मेरे audience हैं, if your settings permit, I would request कि आप अपने videos on करें. तो you know, बोलने वाले को थोड़ा सा अच्छा लगता है. मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि मैं एक black tile से बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. So I have Mr. Subhash Dabade. Thank you very much, sir. And if I can have more people, we have Madhuri Chopra coming in, Nishant Sarthe coming in. We have Aditya Doshi coming in. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And try to keep your these on. In my room, I have a very big wide screen. And मैं वो दोनों चीजों को देखता रहता हूँ, और उसी से मेरे को ऑडियंस के जो रिएक्शंस आते हैं, जो छोटी छोटी स्माइल आती है, उससे मैं शायद बेटर डिलीवर कर पाऊंगा आपको. दिस इज व्हाट इज. सो वर्चुअल की अपनी एफिशिएंसी है कि जहां मेरे को वर्चुअल में आप अपने घर के कन्वीनियंस से इसको ज्वाइन कर पा रहे हैं, आपको कहीं दूर नहीं जाना है. इट्स सो मच मोर कन्वीनियंट. लेकिन वो जो फिजिकल टच है, वो फिजिकल टच भी मिलता है, तो ज्यादा बेहतर मजा आता है. चलिए, having said this, thank you very much. Let's move ahead. So today's agenda is, I would be talking about very briefly. There will be some people who would be non-UT. तो उनके बारे उनको समझाना what is UT all about. Then I would share a testimonial of students who are this year going abroad. ये सारे बच्चे हमारे पास last Sunday, Saturday हमने एक छोटी सी पार्टी करी थी. वहाँ पे ये सब बच्चे आए थे. And these are students who are going abroad this year. वो अब क्या बोल रहे हैं यूटी के स्टडी अब्रॉड प्रोग्राम के बारे में, वी विल टॉक अबाउट दैट. वो उनसे आप उनके मुंह से सुनिएगा. देन वी वुड डिस्कस द मेन हार्ट ऑफ द प्रेजेंटेशन, स्टडी अब्रॉड ऑप्शन. एंड देन माय कलीग मनीष वुड टॉक अबाउट यूटी स्टडी अब्रॉड ऑप्शंस. एंड देन फाइनली वी बोथ विल बी अवेलेबल फॉर क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स. सो दिस इज हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट. चलिए, लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड. So about Universal Tutorials. Universal Tutorials is an organization which I started about 23 years ago. And in this space of 23 years, we've touched about more than 35,000 students. And बहुत अच्छा मजा आता है. मैं खारगर में सेंट्रल पार्क पे वॉक करता हूँ, या अभी मैं यूएस गया था तो दुबई एयरपोर्ट पे कुछ बच्चे टकरा गए कि अपनी इंटर्नशिप करने जा रहे हैं. So that is what a professor is. उसके जीवन का सबसे बड़ा आई मीन टू से तृप्ति मेरे को वही मिलती है, या जीवन का फल वही है कि आई गेट स्टूडेंट्स ऑल अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड हु वुड से हरो अनुभव सर, आप अभी एक बार मेरे घर के बाहर मेरे को कुछ बच्चे मिल गए, सर आपने ना क्लास में थप्पड़ मारा था तो वो अपनी वाइफ के साथ मिल गया, पैर छू रहा था. सो दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ रिस्पॉन्स विच वी गेट, एंड दैट्स व्हाट फॉर अ प्रोफेसर. तो अब मैं भी 51 साल का हो रहा हूँ. I've spent about more than 25 years in this profession. So I'm now reaping the fruits of this profession. So that's about Universal Tutorials. We have 7 branch locations covering the entire Navi Mumbai, right from Airoli, Koparkherne, Vashi, Sanpada, Nerul, Kharghar and Panvel. So we are located in these 7 physical locations. लेकिन अभी ऑनलाइन की दुनिया की वजह से we have no geographical boundaries. We have now study abroad students coming from all parts of India. In fact, some US, Dubai, उधर से भी कुछ बच्चे आते हैं, and we cater to those students also. So we have expanded in a phenomenal way in that sense. So having said this, very quickly, what are the 3 broad areas we coach? We coach board exams. That's our staple product, CBSE and ICSE. Then second is Indian exams. We are into JEE coaching, NEET coaching, IPM, CA फाउंडेशन, CMA, कॉमर्स का नया डिवीजन हमने बहुत स्ट्रांगली चालू करा है. सो वी आर इनटू ऑल ऑफ दोस आल्सो. सो ये सब हम कर रहे हैं. एंड फाइनली वी आर डूइंग द स्टडी अब्रॉड डिवीजन. स्टडी अब्रॉड डिवीजन ये हमने चालू किया था, एंड आई एम प्राउड टू से पहले साल में, जैसे टिपिकली मेरे सारे प्रोडक्ट्स के साथ हुआ है, पहले साल मैंने एक बच्चे को भेजा था, and now this year we are having a strength of about 100 students we are sending abroad across Navi Mumbai and parts of India who are going after standard 12 and for graduation करने जा रहे हैं. तो study abroad का ये today का talk है. So what is that we do on study abroad? Study abroad में हम the core exams SAT और GRE की training करते हैं. So we train for SAT at undergrad level, and at grad level we train for GRE. The English exams we train are TOEFL and IELTS. TOEFL is test of English as a foreign language, and IELTS is Indian English language testing service. इनकी training करते हैं. Then we also help people to prepare for application support. Application support is जहाँ पे LORs, letter of recommendations, essays, SOPs बनवाते हैं. So we do all of this entire suite of products which we do for study abroad. Now, before I proceed further, हम एक छोटा सा Zoom poll करना चाहेंगे where we like to understand कि audience की composition क्या है, so that we can, both me and Manish can tailor make our talk accordingly. So एक Zoom poll आएगा. My colleague Nilesh would conduct the poll. Manish sir would conduct the poll. So let me just, you will see some options. So please select. You do not have to, this is just a representation. Zoom का एक अलग आएगा. So if you are in 9th, 10th, pick A. If you are in 11th, pick B. If you are in 12th, pick C. If you are beyond 12th, pick D. Sir, you can start the Zoom poll.
So not in the chat box, but on your screen, you will have to select your option. I'll share the results, sir.
Yeah.
Are results visible, sir?
Yes. So, sir, I think the audience is the right audience. Standard 11th and 12th, 41% and 34% is the main core audience. Standard 9th, 10th, you are very much slightly in advance, but this is, you could listen to it and perfect. Beyond 12th, you are slightly delayed, but nevertheless, try to make sure that you listen to this entire thing. पूरा process आपको समझ में आ जाएगा, and then meet us separately. जो 10% audience है beyond 12th, आपके लिए भी हमारे पास एक solution है. हम आपको one-on-one cater करके आपको handle कर सकते हैं. 11th and 12th, which is the core, उसके लिए ये पूरी presentation है. So more than 80% people are part of it. So I think, sir, we can get continue with this. चलिए. So we've understood the audience. So right now, let me get started directly with testimonials. ये बच्चे क्या बोल रहे हैं? So please listen to what the students who have got आपके जैसे हैं जो ड्रीम अभी रखे हुए थे लेकिन उनकी ड्रीम इज नाउ कमिंग ट्रू एंड दे आर ऑल रेडी टू फ्लाई, तो वो क्या बोल रहे हैं? प्लीज लिसन टू दिस.
Hello everyone, my name is Maheksha and I will be attending the University of Massachusetts at Amherst from this fall 2022. I have been with UT since the past 4 years and I have always admired the structured approach they take towards all the programs that they offer. The study abroad program is no exception. Anubhav sir and Mani sir guided us personally through the various steps of applying to the US, from giving the SAT to selecting the universities that match my profile. This wouldn't have been possible without Anubhav sir and his team.
I'm Pradeep Mahakud, father of Arnav Mahakud, who has been a student of University Tutorial under the guidance of Anubhav sir. And I'm very happy and to say here something. My son has got an admit UW Medicine undergraduate program in computer science major.
So we are parents of Ashwin Deshpande. So we were quite reluctant about allowing Ashwin to go and study abroad, and we looked at SAT only as a means of getting into BITS because his elder brother was there. And from there to today, where Ashwin is enthusiastic about going to Purdue and we have embraced the concept that he'll be there, has been a long journey, but UT has held our hand at every step of the way. Now they have guided us, they have given us all the information required and more, but allowed us to make our own decision.
No, I think it's a very professional team, but a very important personal touch. So everything they have all the information, but they take into account the child's and the family's needs. So I think it's very exclusive and it's very individual.
Hello, this is Professor Mangesh Mohan. I'm working as a principal in Father Daniel Bandra. It's a polytechnic college. The thought of study abroad came to my mind in the month of September, August, September. We were very much serious about getting into any of the NITs, not JW, not IITs. But then he changed my thought process, provoking me to go for study abroad, and he informed me about the kind of universities and the kind of education system, let's say what US has got. So when I asked my wife, that time we were a bit skeptical earlier. But then when I asked Gaura, what is your choice? That time he said, I want to give it a try. And I told him, I can take a risk of, let's say 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees, wherein I will spend some money for training purpose. And then at the same time, let's say I made him understand that he has to concentrate both on JEE as well as this SAT and all. He got the admit from Arizona State University with the scholarship. We thank UT for giving this opportunity for my son to go to one of the finest university in the US. Thank you, UT.
So that's what the students have got to say. There are many more. We've got some bites. So isme I would like to talk about Ashwin Deshpande in particular. His parents are both medical doctors, and Ashwin's elder brother is studying at BITS Goa. He's passed out of BITS Goa. He was our SAT topper with 1563rd rank in India, and it was nice. He was with us from standard 9th onwards. He was in PSAT coaching, then came in 10th. Then 11th, 12th SAT, and that's how we continued with Ashwin. So, and the other students also, some 2 years, some 3 years, some 1 year. There were students in different capacity and they joined us. Chaliye, having said this, let's now get into the heart of the talk. What is this heart of the talk? What are your major concerns? तो जो सबसे पहले दिन वेबिनार में आते हैं उनके क्या questions रहते हैं? उनके 4 बड़े questions होते हैं. When, how, what, where. I'll try to answer all of these questions. Then, can it be made a plan B? जैसे सब लोग ने बोला कि भाई आईआईटी के साथ साथ कैन इट बिकम अ प्लान बी, वो मैं बताऊंगा कैसे बन सकता है. खर्चा क्या है टोटल, व्हाट इज द टोटल कॉस्ट्स एंड सम मिथ बस्टर्स. सो ऐसे करके इस बेसिकली ये चीज मैं और मनीष इस प्रेजेंटेशन में आंसर करने की कोशिश करेंगे. चलिए, स्टडी अब्रॉड मेन क्वेश्चंस व्हेन, हाउ, व्हाट, वेयर. पहले ये जो 4 सवाल हैं, इन सवालों को आंसर करने की कोशिश करते हैं. सो सबसे पहले व्हेन, you could either go study abroad after standard 12th. ग्रेजुएशन करने के लिए आप जा सकते हो, मतलब BSc BS 3-4 साल के लिए, या यू कैन डू इट लाइक हाउ आई डिड इट इन माय टाइम्स. आज से 25 साल पहले मैंने करा था, दैट आई वेंट अब्रॉड आफ्टर परस्यूइंग माय ग्रेजुएशन. ग्रेजुएशन इंडिया में करो और मास्टर्स पढ़ने बाहर जाओ. So this is the two ways when you can do it in two ways, either after standard 12 or after graduation. Now, traditionally Indian students have chosen the second option, but now there is a trend shift. Kya hai ye trend shift? Because of more awareness, more prosperity among Indians, we the third or fourth generation Indians have more prosperity. Abroad studies have become affordable. Today we'll be largely focusing on first option after standard 12. Now, this is an individual choice, whether you want to do it at 12th or after 12th. It's an individual choice. And there are no right answers on what is right or what is wrong. I am in no way saying one is right and the other is wrong. No, I'm not suggesting that. I am just saying that it's now become more popular because of these reasons, that going abroad after standard 12. So if you are of that idea of going abroad after standard 12, that is the when which I'm answering, then I would now move ahead and try to answer a question how. कि अगर हमको 12th के बाद जाना है तो कैसे बाहर जा सकते हैं? तो बाहर जाने के दो रास्ते, one is the non-merit route and the other is the merit route. अब ये क्या है non-merit route? Non-merit route is low rank universities हैं. They can come either in low costs or in high costs, but they do not really require good academics. आप इधर सिर्फ, how do you get admission? The modus operandi is you can go to a commission agent, you can attend hotel fairs. JW Marriott में आप जाओगे, वहां पे जू में ग्राउंड फ्लोर कंप्लीटली इन्हीं लोगों से ऑक्यूपाइड. आप जाओ, बस पैसा दो and you can get admission, pay and get admissions. This is the non-merit route. What is the end result? आप study abroad बाहर जरूर जाते हैं. You could go to UK, you could go to New Zealand, Australia, US. बहुत सारे अपने यहाँ पे भी अब इंडिया में ऐसे पे इंस्टीट्यूट्स खुल गए हैं. अपने नवी मुंबई में ही इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस, ये नवी मुंबई के आसपास करीब 10-15 किलोमीटर के रेडियस में 10 से 15 इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस है, मेडिकल कॉलेजेस है. You can pay and get admission, but you have to manage your own placements. So we are not talking about the non-merit route. We are talking about the merit route. What is the merit route? Merit route is highly ranked universities. These are top ranked universities of the world. They could come either in low cost or in high cost. They could be any kind of cost. And genuine scholarships are available over. They really need good academics. You need to have good academics. Processes, you need to appear for an exam. Now academics, एक और चीज मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ, academics is not, because it's not that competition. अपने इंडिया में supply demand, इंडिया में बहुत ज्यादा कम supply है और demand बहुत ज्यादा है अच्छे institutes की. इसकी वजह से अपने academic requirement बहुत high हो जाता है. But इधर average academic से भी you can get into a top ranked colleges. This is what is the merit route की characteristics. So Gaurang is one example of that. He would he's got a decent SAT score, but he's got a good university, top ranked university. So what is the process? Appear for an exam, then apply for an exam, apply for an admission, and then get admission. This is the process. What is the end result? End result is you get good placements. Like example is Sundar Pichai. Sundar Pichai has gone through this route only, and he has, this is how he's made himself a mark and also inspired so many of us Indians. So ये क्या रास्ता है? The merit route का रास्ता क्या है वो समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. I will explain the merit route. Non-merit route, आप you will go to lot of agents, वो बोलेंगे हमको पैसा भी नहीं चाहिए, हम आपको बाहर भेज देंगे. So जैसे ही वो ये बोलते हैं आपको समझ में आ जाएगा this is the non-merit route. So merit route is something which I am talking about. What is this merit? India versus abroad. अब merit route में एक मिनट इसको इंडिया से कंपेयर करूंगा कि इंडिया का क्या प्रोसेस है और अब्रॉड का क्या प्रोसेस है, तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि क्या है. इंडिया में 10th के बाद अगर आपको कुछ भी कोई भी पढ़ाई करनी है, then how it works in India? इंडिया में there are multiple exams for different streams. मतलब आपने डिसाइड करा मेरे को IIT पढ़नी है तो JEE का एग्जाम लिखना है. आपने डिसाइड करा मेरे को मेडिकल पढ़ना है तो नीट का एग्जाम लिखना है. आपने डिसाइड करा मेरे को आर्किटेक्चर पढ़ना है तो नाटा का एग्जाम लिखना है. आपने डिसाइड करा मेरे को डिजाइन करना है तो NID का एग्जाम लिखना है. और ऐसे मैं बोल सकता हूँ कंटिन्यूअसली. आपने डिसाइड करा कॉमर्स तो CA फाउंडेशन का एग्जाम लिखना है. तो ऐसे अलग 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 एग्जाम है. और ये इन मतलब इट्स अ वेरी लॉन्ग लिस्ट ऑफ एग्जाम्स. आपको कहीं पे भी प्रोफेशनल डिग्री के लिए एडमिशन लेना है, आपको एक एग्जाम लिखना है. दिस इज व्हाट इज इन इंडिया. और ये एग्जाम कब लिखना है? आफ्टर स्टैंडर्ड 12th के बोर्ड एग्जाम के बाद आपको ये एग्जाम लिखना है. 12th के बोर्ड एग्जाम के बाद. तो 10th में आपको नक्की करना पड़ेगा आपको करना क्या है. और फिर वो उस एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में क्या आता है, उस एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में दे आस्क यू, आप आईआईटी का कर रहे हो तो पीसीएम क्वेश्चन टेक्निकल एग्जाम होगा, सीए का कर रहे हो तो सीए फाउंडेशन अकाउंट्स का पेपर आएगा. आपको उस कोर्स की तैयारी 2 साल के लिए करनी है. यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर दैट. और ये एग्जाम कब होते हैं? आफ्टर 12th बोर्ड एग्जाम. 12th का बोर्ड एग्जाम मार्च में होएगा. अप्रैल, मई, जून, जुलाई इज द सीजन फॉर दीज एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स. दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स इन इंडिया. अब्रॉड कैसे चलता है? अब्रॉड आप किसी भी कंट्री में जा रहे हैं, चाहे वो यूएस, यूके, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड, कोई भी कंट्री हो, कनाडा, largely in some countries में you have to write a single exam, and that single exam is SAT. इसके बारे में मैं समझाऊंगा. My colleague, both of us will explain. There's a single exam SAT. और ये एग्जाम कब लिखना है? ये एग्जाम आपको 12th के बाद नहीं लिखना है. इनफैक्ट पूरा प्रोसेस 12th से पहले खत्म हो. तो कई पेरेंट्स, कई बच्चे, अच्छा डिसाइड करना है ना तो मैं 12th के बाद डिसाइड करूंगा मेरे को कहाँ जाना है. अगर आप ऐसा करेंगे तो आप लेट हो जाएंगे, 1 साल बाद आपको मालूम नहीं, आपको पहले डिसाइड करना. तो ये क्या है ये प्रोसेस? लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. तो सॉल्यूशन इज कि देयर इज वन एग्जाम. अभी अपन सिर्फ इतना सा समझ रहे हैं और धीरे धीरे हाउ आगे आगे समझते जाएंगे. देयर इज वन एग्जाम दैट इज फॉर ऑल स्ट्रीम्स. और ये कब लिखना है? ये 12th के पहले लिखना. एंड इस एग्जाम का नाम क्या है? इस एग्जाम का नाम इज SAT एग्जाम, स्कॉलस्टिक एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट है इस एग्जाम का. Now I will invite my colleague Manish to take forward from here, and Manish will continue. Sir, all yours now. Please continue from here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anubhav sir. So let me pick the thread from where Anubhav sir left, and let me help you understand more about this exam, which is SAT. So SAT is basically, like sir said, is one of the very important requirement for you to make to US universities, Canadian universities, which helps in admission decisions. It's also an input for scholarship decisions. So SAT overall is a very, very important exam that we must understand if we are to apply to US for our undergrad studies. So what is this exam and who conducts this? So this exam is conducted by a body called College Board. ये एक worldwide body है, which is based out of US. They conduct this exam called SAT, Scholastic Aptitude Test. Like I said, this test or scores of this test is one of the key inputs for undergrad decisions, the courses that you want to do after 12th. So other than medicine, बाकी कोई भी course अगर आप करना चाहते हैं, engineering, commerce, arts, pure sciences, economics, finance, IT. So anything that you want to do, SAT score is applicable and is accepted. It is recognized by major universities of UK and Canada for sure. For other countries, if you write SAT and if you get a good score, you get some preference. So UK, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, including some Indian universities would accept these scores. You can bypass some of these stages to admission. So for example, a very reputed engineering institute like Shiv Nadar, uska Delhi campus hai, Chennai campus hai. So if you want to do your engineering from Shiv Nadar, SAT score is accepted. Ashoka, Ecole, Mahindra Ecole, and so on, MET, SPJ, and NITs under some special category, SAT score is accepted, and you can write SAT and also apply to these Indian universities. So all in all, this is one exam which is aptitude in nature. It has 2 main parts divided into 3 subparts. So one is English. So it's all about English and mathematics. There are 2 sections on English, reading English and writing English. So reading is all about comprehension and critical reading skills based, and writing is your English usage, grammar, vocabulary, all of that. So basically it is more of competency with English language that they want to test. This is a multiple choice section where you get time limit per section. So for reading section, you get 65 minutes and you're supposed to answer 52 questions. Writing, you get 35 minutes and 44 questions. ये सब multiple choice questions हैं. And then there is math section, which is further divided into 2 sections. So all in all, maths will have 58 questions, MCQ, and some short answer, plus you get 80 minutes for that. So this is, if you understand, this is like a 3-hour test for 150 odd questions that one is supposed to write. Currently, this exam has no negative marking, and it is a pencil paper based exam. There is no penalty for a wrong answer. So you'll have to do it on a pencil paper based. It happens internationally, and scoring is between 400 points to 1600 points. 800 points English ke hain, 800 points maths ke hain. So total there are 1600 points for SAT. So a student scores out of 1600, minimum score 400 aata hai, maximum 1600. So this is the range between which your scores would come into. More about this exam. So as Indians, as foreign nationals, other than US nationals, agar aap US ke bahar likh rahe hain, you get 5 opportunities. This happens 5 times a year. It happens in month of May, August, October, December, March. Generally, first or second Saturday of that month is when this exam will happen. An entire calendar is shared, so we'll have to book ourselves, go to the center, take the exam. The fee could range around $100 to $109 के आसपास इसका fees रहता है. A student can write it multiple times. There's no restriction on that. Your best scores will be reported or considered for admission decisions. Once you get a score, it is valid for 5 years. A score on SAT is valid for 5 years. आप 5 साल तक वो score से apply कर सकते हो. Every time you write this test, you will have to pay the exam taking fee of $109. Some more things to quickly wrap up this. So this is mostly maths and English skills. English skills, because your medium of instruction in US or Canada would be in English. So they really want to understand that, do you understand and know critical English? So critical reading skills, grammar, ये सब test होता है. Maths, I should say around 95-97% mathematics up to your 10th level. You could be in CBSE, or you could have come from an ICSE or Maharashtra state or any state board. Whatever you would have studied till your 10th standard maths, that is what the scope is. Largely, that is the scope. Only 3% or even less than 3%, you get higher maths topic at an introductory level that too. So this is what it is. This can be prepared. You can prepare for this exam with some focused training in 3 to 4 months time. And this is more about conceptual understanding. It is not like your IIT JEE, where anything and everything could be asked. They have a very defined syllabus, and they want to test your conceptual understanding on that syllabus. So that way, it's a very intelligent exam. And like I said, you could do it multiple times. Scores are valid for 5 years. Along with SAT, जो अभी सर भी आपको समझा रहे थे, when you are applying abroad, Indians are not considered as native English speakers. तो क्योंकि वो हमको native English speakers नहीं मानते, we'll have to write one more exam. So first thing is you have to write SAT. The second thing is you will have to write either of these exams, which is an English competency exam, just to prove that we understand, we can speak, read, write, listen English. So हम ये सब कर सकते हैं किसी एक language के साथ, which is English. हमको एक और exam देना पड़ेगा. It could be IELTS, International English Language Testing Services, or TOEFL, Test of English as Foreign Language. इन दोनों में से कोई exam देना पड़ेगा. Both are computer-based exam. They happen. Both of them happens almost daily in a calendar year. If you look at out of 365 days, I think you will find some 260, 270 days जब ये exam हो रहा है in a year. These exams are conducted by different body. TOEFL is conducted by ETS, and IELTS is conducted by either British Council or IDP. So अलग-अलग bodies conduct करती हैं, but these exams happen almost every day in a calendar year. Scores are valid for 2 years, SAT 5 years. TOEFL या IELTS आप कोई भी exam दोगे, इनका scores are valid for 2 years. Both exams they will have these 4 sections: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So they will test you on this. The only difference being TOEFL would be out of 120 points, 120 में से आपका score आएगा, and IELTS will be out of 9, single digit 9, आपका score 9 points में से आएगा. So depending on which exam you take, you get score, and both are equally accepted. Both test scores are equally accepted in US, Canada, and UK. IELTS is more globally accepted outside US, Canada, and TOEFL is, TOEFL is more accepted at US, Canada, and IELTS is globally accepted everywhere. We would do TOEFL, for TOEFL we'll do 2 batches. We do one in May and the other in November. IELTS will literally launch a batch every week. So, and it's more popular, iski demand zyada rehti hai for various purposes, not only for undergrad study, for postgrad studies, for job requirements, IELTS exam dena padta hai. So IELTS, we literally launch a batch every week. TOEFL, we do 2 batches. These are short programs. TOEFL is a 3 weeks program. Some 14 hours of training is enough for TOEFL. And IELTS is little bit elaborate, where you do 3 to 5 weeks of training. Let us understand, these preparations are not about teaching you English language. It is more about making you familiar and developing an approach to these exams. So I'll appreciate if you can keep yourself muted, because then that disturbs everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, for medical education, possibly we'll have to connect on one-on-one basis. Rather, last Sunday we did an extensive webinar covering how to do medical education if you want to do medicine from US and UK. So either you could go on our Facebook page and have a look at that recording, or you take an appointment and meet us on a one-on-one basis if you are interested for medicine. Today we are talking about, other than medicine, any course. It could be pharmacy, it could be engineering, commerce, management, science, economics. So for all that, हम जितनी भी बात कर रहे हैं, all that is applicable. So 2 requirements हो गई, SAT हो गया और एक English test हो गया. What are other requirements? The third requirement is, if I can call it a third requirement, it is academic records. All your scores from 9th standard onwards. So आपके जो भी scores हैं, percentage हैं, उनको GPA में convert करेंगे, grade point average में convert करेंगे, GPA, and they will be required. So 9th, 10th, 11th, if you have passed 12th, then 12th का score. If you are into 12th, तो जब apply कर रहे होंगे, maybe 12th midterm score. So academic records are important. So you're not only an SAT score for them, they want to know how you are doing in your subjects and in your school exams. So 9th, 10th, 11th scores. This is the third requirement. Fourth, and if you have this is not must. Academic requirements is must. Extracurriculars, anything that makes you stand out vis-a-vis your peers. You have done anything outside classroom, music, dance, debating, arts, culture, anything that you would have done in your extracurricular sports, all that will count. So if you have that, good. If you don't have, there's nothing to worry about, but if you have done that, you will have extra credits. If you have done any community service with any NGO, social club, which is consistent with whatever you want to do next in your life, that will be a value addition. If you have participated in any scholastic competition, talent search competitions, ये जो exams होते हैं, the RMOs and the NTSCs and Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana by central state government. So if you have done anything like that, and if you have stood out, you have got some positions, you have cleared certain levels, that also add value. So academic records must है, उसके नीचे की ये तीनों चीजें good to have है. जरूरी नहीं है सबके पास हो. Extra curriculars, community service and scholastic. तो ये है तो बहुत अच्छा है. We will help you in how do you present this, वो सब हम आपको help करेंगे. Other requirement, now this is must. We'll need letter of recommendation from your school teachers. These are like signed statements where the teacher endorses your qualities, weaknesses, achievements, talks about you. We call it LOR, letter of recommendation. ये 3 letter of recommendations लगते हैं जब आप foreign universities को apply करते हो. 2 possibly from your subject teacher, 1 from your counselor. Then there could be a lot of essays. So this is another requirement. If you really understand, so this could be the 8th requirement that you have. So depending on what universities you are applying to, universities will ask you to write some personal essays. हम इनको SOPs बोलते हैं, statement of purpose. So you write personal essays, अलग-अलग prompts होंगे. Some university will tell you to write only 1 long essay, 600 words. कुछ आपसे 4 essay लिखवाएंगे, कोई 8 लिखवाएगा. But from 50 words to 600, 800 words का essay हो सकता है, depending upon which universities we are applying to. So these essays would be on your personal interest and career goals. Now, how is this a plan B, which Anubhav sir was talking about? Let me try and give you a visualization of that. So if you understand, we are talking about taking SAT as early as possible. So you could even take it in your 10th standard. Like I said, scores are valid for 5 years. So if you get a good score, or if you're going for second attempt, which mostly people do, you could do it in 10th and 11th again, and then choose your best score. So let us try and understand this. What we are saying is you write only one exam, which is SAT. The ideal time is to write when you are in your 11th standard. जब आपने 11th enter किया है. You give then balance of your time, because 3 से 4 महीने में तैयारी कर लो, write this exam, sit tight and focus on your school studies, क्योंकि school के marks important हैं. Focus on any Indian exams that you are planning for, IIT and NEET, medical, management entrances, law entrances, CA foundations. आप जो भी दूसरी तैयारी कर रहे हो, you focus on that, and so you get more time to write Indian exams. So let's try and see. We will do a couple of timelines. This is for the audience who are in their 12th right now, who have entered 12th, who 11th से 12th में आए हैं. So I'm talking to them, and then I'll come to 11th and 10th standard guys also. So if you are in your 12th, possibly you'll have to cover all milestone, but थोड़ा सा time जो है वो crunch हो जाएगा, so things would be little bit compressed. So you will have to write your SAT in December, and November May you write your TOEFL. So if you start your SAT preparation now and you start preparing for it, December वाला जो SAT है, जो कि first Saturday of December को हो रहा है, you take that SAT. Then parallelly, sometime in October you will prepare for TOEFL, and November May you will write your TOEFL exam. You will apply to foreign universities from September this year to December this year. You are still in your 12th standard, and आप देखेंगे that your all application work ये parallel में चालू होगा with your preparation, will start in September and finish by December. You will formally make all your applications, but December तक आपके सारे applications लग जाएंगे. The admit decisions for the applications that you have made, आप अभी भी 12th में हो, will come between December to March 23. Next year के मार्च के पहले इस दिसंबर से चालू होके आपको आपके एडमिट डिसीजंस यूनिवर्सिटी से पता चल जाए. अब आप मार्च में you will be writing in a normal year, you write your 12th board in March. So you are writing this. So basically before you write your board exams, आपको ये पता है कि आपको कहाँ से एडमिट आ गया है from the places where you have applied, US, UK, Canada, जहाँ भी आपने अप्लाई किया, जिस भी यूनिवर्सिटी में आपने अप्लाई किया. The good part is you can decide where you want to join from the admits that you have got by May, which means minimum 2 months का time मिल रहा है आपको to make up your mind and choose between the admits that you have got where you will finally commit yourself. When I say commit yourself, it means possibly sending a yes wala email, sending them a confirmation, and then paying some confirmation amount. It could be from $400 to a couple of $1,000. उतना कुछ amount आपको देना पड़ेगा. तो but the point is that you are only committing by May. यहाँ तक आपको आपके Indian exams का पता चल जाता है. If you are preparing for IIT and if you are in a normal year, एक January में mains हो जाता है, which tells you in how much water you are, where you may land in India. So you can accordingly decide in May if you want to exercise this option. You go for your visa, possibly June, July से लेके उसमें आप visa के लिए जाएंगे, and then there's departure for your admitted university in US. So August 23 में you fly out to US or Canada or UK, wherever you have chosen your university, and you start your studies. So this is the complete timeline for guys who are there in 12th standard right now. In case you have passed 12th, which some of you have, I will advise that you meet us one-on-one at earliest on a personal basis, where we can look at some customized courses for you. We can look at saving your 6 months. ये पूरे 1 साल का प्लान है, हम आपके 6 महीने बचा सकते हैं, provided you meet us separately. Okay, coming down to 11th standard. Now, if you are in 11th standard, जैसा सर ने बताया था कि 80% audience है इसमें जो कि 11th and beyond है. So this is the right time. If you are in your 11th standard, let me first congratulate you, because आप एकदम सही समय पे ये सुन रहे हैं और आपने एकदम सही समय पे ये सोचना चालू किया है. So you could start your SAT preparation. You have multiple shots. You have options to take multiple shots as SAT. Will recommend go for first shot in December 22. सेकंड शायद मार्च उतना पॉसिबल नहीं हो बिकॉज ऑफ स्कूल एग्जाम, मई में वापस दो एक बार एसएटी. So you have multiple attempts to improve your score because best scores are always reported. TOEFL could be done this November or it could also be done next May. There is no hurry. So you prepare and write these exams. The application, like the 12th standard guys, for you guys will start next year, September 23 से लेके December 23. बाकी सब वही है, सिर्फ year change हो गया. So you are applying next year from September to December to your shortlisted university with your entire portfolio. Academic scores, SAT, TOEFL, LOR, activity list, वो सब के साथ आप अप्लाई करें. Basis this, एडमिशन डिसीजंस आ जाएंगे December 23 से लेके March 2024 के बीच में. So you get to hear from universities, just जैसा अभी मैंने बताया बिल्कुल वैसा ही, बस एक साल सब कुछ शिफ्ट हो गया. You write your 12th board exams in March 24. You decide by May 24 आपको किसको कंफर्म करना है. जून से लेके अगस्त तक you work on your visa and August 24 you fly out to your admitted university. ये 11th वालों का टाइमलाइन है. And all this can be obtained on that PDF file. I'll tell you that number, हम अभी बताएंगे आपको. ये सब आप उस PDF फाइल में भी हमसे ले सकते हैं. You may not be able to write so much, तो ये सब आपको PDF फाइल में भी मिल जाएगा. If you are in 10th standard, so you are like an early riser. आपने समय से पहले आप जग रहे हो, समय से पहले आपने सुनना सोचना चालू कर दिया है. You guys have lot of attempts for SAT. We will say ideal attempt would be August 23. August 23 में आप इसको दे सकते हो, which is next year when you would have just entered your 11th. April में 10th का बोर्ड खत्म करो, हमसे मिलो. 10th के बोर्ड के तुरंत बाद you start preparing for SAT. April, May, June, July में तैयारी करो, August में SAT पहला वाला दे देना. Apply similarly your application, क्योंकि आपने जल्दी चालू किया है, October, December 24 में होगा. 2 साल शिफ्ट हो गया 12th वालों से. एडमिशन March 25 तक आ जाएगा. 12th बोर्ड आप March 2025 में लिखोगे. You decide by May 25, you go for your visa. बाकी everything remains same. You have only shifted here. How does this help if you start early? I mean, you know that because if you start early, you have more bandwidth to concentrate on your school studies and any other plan A or plan B you may have. कुछ लोगों का स्टडी अब्रॉड प्लान ए होता है, कुछ लोगों का स्टडी अब्रॉड प्लान बी होता है. तो अगर आपका वो प्लान बी है, गुड फॉर यू. यू नो, इसको अगस्त तक करके खत्म कर दो एसएटी को. अब पूरा 11 12 पे फोकस करो एंड फोकस ऑन योर इंडियन कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम. सो दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स. एसएटी और स्टडी अब्रॉड फॉर दैट मैटर, बिकॉज ये क्वेश्चन आता है कि क्या हमको 10th के बाद बोर्ड स्विच कर लेना चाहिए, क्या इंटरनेशनल बोर्ड आईजीसीएससी बोर्ड में चले जाएं, उससे एडवांटेज होता है स्टूडेंट्स आर प्लानिंग टू गो अब्रॉड. Answer is not really. So these are like board independent. You could come from any state board, CBSE, ICSE, IB, will not make difference. You could come from any stream. Still you will have to write SAT for any stream that you want to go into. So science or commerce or humanities. And you could do it in 11th, you could do it in 12th. There are students who do it in 10th. Currently, you know, we have 10th students who are writing their August SAT. वो अभी से ही एक attempt लिख रहे हैं SAT. So even that could be one of the strategies. Chali, so I come down to last few slides. So I come down to what programs do we have. So for 9th and 10th students, we do foundation SAT where we'll do basic SAT skill training. But the full program is available for 11th and 12th standard guys. We can help you in 2 ways. We can help you with all your training needs. तो हम आपको एसएटी ट्रेनिंग, टॉफेल या आइल्स ट्रेनिंग, वो सारा ट्रेनिंग का काम हम आपके लिए करके दे सकते हैं. द पॉइंट इज व्हेन यू नो लाइक सर वुड हैव एक्सप्लेन, जो आपने अगर सुना होगा ध्यान से, यू नो अनलाइक इंडिया जहाँ पे आप एक टेस्ट देते हैं और आप एक ऑल इंडिया रैंक बन जाते हो और आपको काउंसलिंग के लिए बुलाया जाता है, यूएस, यूके, कनाडा, स्टडी अब्रॉड में ऐसा नहीं होता. आफ्टर राइटिंग द टेस्ट नोबडी कॉल्स यू. देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड एज एन ऑल इंडिया रैंक और एन इंटरनेशनल रैंक. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. नोबडी कॉल्स यू and there's no counseling happening. So you need something called as an application support. This is an extensive support, an equally important step if you have to plan and apply abroad. So application support को मैं आगे थोड़ा सा और आपको डिटेल में समझाऊंगा. First about my program. So foundation SAT, if you are in your 9th, 10th and you want to do some basic skill training, you'll have to meet individually with us because we started a batch in April. Abhi there are no batches, but you have to meet, you can meet us individually and we can help you more. But SAT, we do rolling batches. What does this mean? This means that there are 5 attempts every year for SAT. So we do 5 rolling batches. Currently, we are talking about a batch जिसको हम SAT August बोलते हैं, which will target SAT December. तो August batch चालू हो रहा है, जो December में SAT हो रहा है उसको target करने के लिए. This is like a 4 hours per week of engagement. 4 hours per week मतलब इतना time हमको चाहिए inside classroom. 4 hours per week, which is pretty doable. Overall 16 to 18 weeks का program होगा ये. I think we'll take questions towards the end, Mr. Arafat, and let me finish this and then we'll take your question. We are starting with a batch next Sunday. There's an orientation class happening. So in case you are interested for that, I'm going to share details how you can get in touch for that. So we are starting a batch next Sunday, 24th July, where we do an entire orientation. Now, which are the days of the week when we will do this? हम कब करेंगे? All that is done democratically, mutually decided inside the first class. Looking into the convenience of the batch, looking into the convenience of the faculty set, where we are very flexible, we decide the 2 days of the week, and then for the entire 4-month duration, हम वो 2 दिन मिलते हैं for English and maths, and we do that. And then there are testing days also, which are again very flexible. So along with anything that you are doing right now, you can plan your SAT training. Application support, like I said, it's a fairly exhaustive, elaborative, important process, just like training, where we help you with your profile building. So your choice of major, budget, preferences, achievements, all that taking into account, we make your profile. We do university selection for you. हजारों universities हैं बाहर. US अकेले में 3,500 universities है. Then Canada, UK. Where do you apply and which ones do you apply? So you cannot apply to everyone, and applying to them also involves cost. Each university will ask for an application fee. So selecting those universities from pool of 1,000 universities, हमारे वो 10 कौन सी universities होंगी जिसको हम apply करेंगे, किस ratio में apply करेंगे, all that is done under university selection. Then we give letter writing support, where an expert would help you write all those essays. Teachers नहीं लिखते हैं letter of recommendation, वो आपको बोलते हैं तुम लिख के लाओ and we will sign it. तो वो लिखने का काम. So there's a lot of writing requirement where we help you, and then finally within the deadlines we help you apply. तो एक बच्चे के साथ these are 3 big support that comes with application. ये मैं इसलिए बता रहा हूँ ताकि I'm able to drive a point home which says that application is a very, very important step, and without this, by only taking SAT, nothing gets done. तो ये आपको करना पड़ेगा. So there's a mentoring support which works one-on-one with that student का profile समझ के application strategy बनाना. There's a content support where this expert who understands university writing requirement, किस university में क्या लिखना है, ऐसे में क्या होना चाहिए, LOR में क्या होना चाहिए, वो बच्चे के साथ one-on-one लिखना. And then there's overall coordination support. उस बच्चे के सारे documents एक जगह इकट्ठा करना, ensuring that all the university deadlines are met by the applicant. So all that is done by the coordinator. So this coordinator, along with mentor and content expert, comprehensively supports the applicant's application for foreign university. So this is how it works at our place, which is UT. All our classes are online. We'll be launching our batches physically also at a couple of places in Navi Mumbai. If you are outside Navi Mumbai, you can attend these classes in a hybrid mode where all these classes get streamed online, where with faculty and faculty का पूरा whiteboard वो सब आपको visible होता है with study material at your disposal. So all that is there. We do testing again, classroom testing भी है, online testing भी है, तो वो सारा support है आपको. This is the faculty team led by Anubhav sir, myself, Mrs. Bhattacharya, who does English, Uday sir, who would take SAT Maths, Joseph sir, again, English. So together, all of us enjoy, a century of experience. हमारे cumulative experiences को अगर हमारे individual experiences को अगर cumulatively देखेंगे, तो वो शायद कुछ 100 साल का experience होगा in training students for various competitive exams, including SAT, of course. This is some of our result. This is Ashwin Deshpande, जिसके पेरेंट्स को आपने अभी सुना, डॉक्टर देशपांडे को आपने सुना, तो वो अश्विन है. He stood all India ranked 3rd SAT December में. He got 1560 का score. He cracked the math section out and out, 800 on 800. English में he got 760. Then he worked with us in application. He's going to Purdue University or Purdue ka CS program, a very, very competitive, world-ranked Purdue's computer science program mein hai Ashwin. This is Samarth Jain, another, one of the great success stories that we have. And we worked with our associate called Globalizers. He got into Ivy League with scholarship, and he had an excellent profile in terms of he was a lawn tennis player. उसने एक e-commerce company चलाया, एक YouTube channel create किया, and he is with an Ivy League. UPenn के साथ पढ़ रहा है वो into their M&T program. These are some of our results for December and October SAT attempts, and you see that every attempt students do very well, and आपको कुछ नाम repeat दिखेंगे because students write it more than once. This is, a poster that we are very proud of every year inside UT, and these are some of our great admits. So we have Sonali Kaushal getting into Virginia Tech, Yash, who had gone to Harvard, and currently he's doing his CS from Purdue. There's Aryan, UCL, top 3 universities हैं UK की, उसमें UCL है एक. Varun Sen, Waterloo, again top 3 University of Canada, he's there. There's Ashwin, then there's Arnav, Orithro getting into economics पढ़ रहा है वो, and this is University of California, UC schools, commonly इनको बोला जाता है, very, very reputed school. UIUC, Shrenka getting into UIUC physics and are doing a great job. So there are so many of them, you see them there, and there are these bright smiling faces, happy faces. You heard Mehak Shah. There's Garv Singh, जैसा सर ने बताया, that even with a decent academic profile, so Garv Singh is one, again, great example. He got into Ohio State. Ohio State, top 10 state schools में आता है Ohio State का नाम. It's a big university. He has got into that. And then there are Mehak Shah का, जैसे आपको बताया, she got into that UMass with a scholarship, $18,000 per annum की scholarship के साथ. Mehak Shah पढ़ रही है. Harshvardhan, Sweden. Gauran को आपने देखा था, Kaustav Chetty at Canada. So there's a lot of stories behind each of these faces which we are very proud of. So at this moment, let me now invite Anubhav sir to take us through the balance part of this webinar. And then I see you again in the question and answer round. Thank you.
Thank you, Manishji. So let me very quickly again share my screen and continue from where you left us. So this is where it is now. We've covered certain parts of how, पूरा how cover किया. So the questions जो पूछे थे, when, how, what, 3 बड़े questions cover हो गए, when, how, what. Now I would be talking about the last question which we had raised, where costs के बारे में बात करूंगा and mythbusters के बारे में बात करूंगा. So now we are in the last part of the talk. So where, कहाँ पढ़ने जाना चाहिए? US, UK, Australia, इतने सारे हैं, तो उनमें से किधर पढ़ने जाना चाहिए? So factors to decide the university and country, I would say I have listed them as 6 factors. Language, English or non-English. College ranking से आप decide करेंगे कि आपके लिए किधर जाना है. So it could be college rankings. आपके खुद के academic scores. Then costs. The costs would help you to decide which university, which country, then which field of study are you going. And there could be some other preferences कि मेरी मामा, मेरे बुआ कोई UK में रहते हैं, कोई न्यूजीलैंड में रहते हैं, कोई ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, कोई US में, तो मैं उधर जाना चाहता हूँ. तो depending upon all of this you decide. तो out of these 6 factors हम application support में पहले 5 factors में हम आपकी help करते हैं. We can help you with the first 5 factors. Other preferences are something which are individual, subjective to you only. So let's very quickly talk about the first factor, English. If you talk about language, the moment you say you're looking at English-speaking countries, then we have boiled down to these countries only. US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, Dubai, Ireland. ये हो जाती हैं. So country like Germany, France, Italy, because they have a very strong local language, वो generally not preferred हो जाती हैं. But if there is somebody who comes in, there is a student who's come in and who's gone to Sweden, a student who's come in who's gone to Germany. अगर वैसा है, we will be able to advise you and help you with those countries also. But 10 में से 8 या 9 जन को they prefer English speaking countries. So that's the first factor. अब इसमें US क्यों highlighted है मैं अभी वो बताता हूँ. College rankings. So college rankings, we refer to various agencies. Which agencies? Primarily two agencies. These are the world reputed agencies, QS and US News. ये लोग publish करते हैं the university rankings. अब इन university rankings को country wise, I'll show you a short summary. ऐसे major wise भी आती है. हम इन सबको use करके आपको advise करते हैं कि आपको किधर apply करना चाहिए. तो अगर अपन एक country wise का एक देखेंगे, so top 100 universities को मैंने country wise budget की इधर करा है. तो अगर आप इधर देखेंगे, तो you will realize that 31 top universities are coming from US. That's why it becomes the #1 choice. Then is UK with about 16 countries. So it becomes the second preferred destination. So this is why, and so on and so forth. Australia has 7, Hong Kong has about 5, Canada 4, Singapore, and so on and so forth. But that's why this becomes the most preferred destination in terms of rankings. But there could be other reasons. हम अलग-अलग countries के साथ काम करते हैं, and we can work with all these countries. Next, these are the top 20 countries, top 20 universities. Like #1 is MIT, #2 is Stanford from US, #3 Harvard, #4 Caltech. ये दिखेगा left hand, right hand side आपको दिखेगी. Right hand side is completely US, कुछ UK, Switzerland, ये कुछ एक दो दिख रही हैं. अधिकतर are primarily these countries or these universities only. Next, 11 to 20 में दो सिंगापुर की यूनिवर्सिटीज आती हैं. सिंगापुर is NIUS and Nanyang are, and the remaining. So like this are the merit universities जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ. Moving forward, college scores and college ranking. Now depending upon आपका क्या score आता है, आपका क्या college ranking, उसके हिसाब से आपको कौन से college में admit मिलता है. So if you are in the 1500 plus and you are 95% plus, then the chances of you getting into top 25 are pretty high. But if you are 1200 plus and you are suppose 85%, then chances of you getting an admit in top 50 to top 100 universities is pretty good. So this is just some thumb rule which I have given, which will help you to realize कि understand कि कौन सी university में you have a shot. You will be able to get a PDF of all this presentation. आपको पूरा PDF मिल सकेगा. But if you want to take photographs of certain slides, you can very well take photographs of the certain slides. चलिए, let's move on. Costs. Now this is something which is very parents ask अरे खर्चा क्या आएगा. So I have this economical, mid-range and premium. अगर इकोनॉमिकल में है तो एक साल का यू आर लुकिंग एट अबाउट 15 से 25 लाख रुपए. 4 साल का मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 4, 60 to 1 करोड़. मिड रेंज में 25 से 40 लाख रुपए या 1 से 1.5 करोड़ रुपए. 40 to 60 lakhs या 1.6 to 2.4 crore rupees for 4 years. So अब डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर बजट तीनों बकेट्स में काम हो सकता है. और ऐसा नहीं है प्रीमियम ज्यादा अच्छा है या इकोनॉमिकल कम अच्छा है, ऐसा नहीं है. इट इज हर तरह के बजट में हर तरह की यूनिवर्सिटी मिलेगी. हार्वर्ड, स्टैनफोर्ड कम इन द प्रीमियम, बट कैलिफोर्निया पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटीज, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कैलिफोर्निया, मिशिगन, they come in mid range. There are some excellent universities which come in economical. Purdue, they are coming in economical range and they are excellent universities. So ऐसा नहीं है कि the budget criteria से decide होता है कि quality कैसी है. No, quality is you can find in your budget. Again, I pause for 2 seconds. If you wish to take a PPT, click करना, you can click, and then I move forward. You can always request for a PDF. वो तो आएगी आपको. चलिए, अब the next question is scholarships. Scholarships. At the time of application, scholarships are available based on your merit. Do students get these scholarships? Need-based scholarships are also there. अब Indians भी need-based scholarships में अपन सब normal लोग नहीं qualify होते हैं. अपने income levels are now pretty high. कि अपन वो नीड बेस्ड में क्वालिफाई होने दिक्कत होती है। तो मेरिट बेस्ड स्कॉलरशिप्स मिलती हैं, लेकिन वो कम मिलती हैं, बहुत कम। जैसे समर्थ गॉट अ मेरिट स्कॉलरशिप, he got a 2.24 crore funding। वो ऐसी वाली स्कॉलरशिप्स, महक गॉट दिस फंडिंग, ऐसे मिलते हैं लेकिन कम मिलते हैं। 10 में से 1-2 बच्चों को मिलते हैं, वेरी फ्यू स्कॉलरशिप्स based on their academic criteria। But after joining campus, you can become a teaching assistant or a research assistant or a laboratory assistant, and you start getting a stipend. हमारी एक बच्ची थी सोनाली कौशल, she had got into Dean's list and she got a merit scholarship over there। ये करीब 80% बच्चों को मिल जाती है। So जब मैं पेरेंट्स को, वो जो मैंने पिछली वाली स्लाइड दिखाई थी, सपोज किसी पेरेंट ने वो स्लाइड देखी, बोले अनुभव सर उसमें 1 करोड़ रुपए बोल रहे हैं, तो मतलब मेरे को 1.25 करोड़ की तैयारी करनी चाहिए अगर मेरे को मेरे बच्चे को भेजना है। दिस इज जनरली द इंडियन मेंटालिटी एंड थॉट। मैं कहता हूं पेरेंट्स को, नहीं साहब, आपको 1 का 1.25 नहीं प्रिज्यूम करना है। आप, बिकॉज ये नीचे वाली स्कॉलरशिप मिलती है, आप ये मान के चलिए आपका 1 करोड़ की नहीं, आप 70-80 लाख की तैयारी करिए, 70-80 लाख में काम हो जाएगा। जो मैंने बजट बताया है उससे थोड़े से कम में ही काम होएगा, क्योंकि बच्चे को वहां पे कुछ ना कुछ स्कॉलरशिप जरूर मिलेगी। This is the general thumb rule. Now, when I did costs, that costs included everything: रहना, खाना, पीना, tuition, everything. That's a ballpark number. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। एजुकेशन लोन्स मिलते हैं क्या? Yes, education loans are available. They are easily available in name of student. अगेंस्ट मॉर्गेज आपके 2 BHK 3 BHK फ्लैट के सामने मिल जाएगा। जनरली नवी मुंबई में 2 BHK फ्लैट इज 1 CR, उसके सामने आपको 70 से 80 लाख रुपए का लोन आराम से मिल जाए। पेरेंट एक्ट एज गारंटर्स, फ्लेक्सिबल रीपेमेंट टर्म्स, फर्स्ट रीपेमेंट स्टार्ट्स आफ्टर 6 years, जनरल टेन्योर इज 15 to 20 years, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स आर एज लो एज 7 to 8%। So that's the general trend। SBI से बहुत आराम से, have we processed education loans? Yes, we have। और मिल जाते हैं बच्चों को बड़े आराम से मिल। अदर फैक्टर्स, एज आई सेड, ये नाउ मैं छठे फैक्टर पे आ गया हूं भाई। इतनी सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, सो दिस इज वेयर आवर एप्लीकेशन सपोर्ट रियली कम्स इन, और उसमें हम आपकी हेल्प करते हैं कि कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी में आपको अप्लाई करना है। सो दिस इज वेयर, अब वेदर, चॉइस, दूसरे फैक्टर्स दैट यू डिसाइड योरसेल्फ, एंड वी हेल्प यू टू डिसाइड दैट मेजर थिंग, बट दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच are also dependent on। So अपन largely वो where के क्वेश्चन को आंसर कर रहे हैं। where का क्वेश्चन एप्लीकेशन सपोर्ट में हम लोग हमारी टीम के साथ आपकी बहुत हेल्प। फाइनली myth busters, cost versus value। Well, this is a question which again subjectively you have to answer yourself and everybody will answer it personally। कि you know 1 करोड़ रुपए खर्चा करना है, is it worth it? Now this is an individual choice। Here I would like to say, as a father, now I'm not speaking as a counselor, as a father, I have myself graduated out of BITS Pilani। My elder son is Yash, he was studying, a very nice, very brilliant student, and I thought he could crack IIT BITS, वो crack करा उसने, but I was like कि नहीं यार, तेरे को ज्यादा अच्छी education Purdue computer science में मिलेगी, so I have sent him to Purdue। I valued that कि वहां पे better education मिलेगी, so I took that call myself। So it's up to you, and I do not say I am right or I am wrong, it's your personal decision। Next, culture adaptation। This is again very subjective। I realize these kids who are growing up, ये लोग इतने culturally adapted हैं। आज से 30 साल पहले जब मैं US गया था, तो culture adaptation मेरे लिए बहुत tough था। For me things were new, but now it's no longer। The world has shrunk। On YouTube ये बच्चे इतना सब देखते हैं, इनको सब मालूम रहता है हो क्या रहा है। They are so adapted। So I don't think that's really an issue with this generation kids। But again, I am sold to the idea, so you would hear a bias from me, but this is something which you have to decide। Again, racism, this is at times seen, you could see in parts of Australia, UK दिखती है, but again we are talking about shades of it। Rishi Sunak becoming the prime ministerial candidate in the UK, so ये racism at least for Indians is on the downtrend। Donald Trump का भी effect comparatively खत्म हो गया है, so it is on the downtrend। Safety again is something which you have to consider, and other issues। So मैं मोटा मोटी ये कह रहा हूँ, क्या ये issue है? ये issue काफी कम हो गया है, but आपको decide करना है, and we can have a healthy talk between and I can talk as a father and we can discuss it out from other students, then we can come to some conclusion from this. Overall benefits of the SAT program, we at UT have made it very easy to combine at 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th level. You could be part of champions and study this. We will be able to do. It's only a 2-week program, 2 days a week program. We have been a school leader. We've been doing this very well. A good alternate option in present scenario. You shoot for IIT, उसके साथ साथ एक alternate option बहुत अच्छी तरह से आप बना सकते हो. So now we are towards the end of the presentation. We started with lots of questions. What, where, when. I hope we've answered these questions. But if you still have questions, then like you have TOEFL, IELTS, subject SATs, AP exams, country, Germany, जो मैंने इस पूरी presentation में answer नहीं कर पाया, बहुत सारे सवाल थे. तो अगर आपको लगता है ऐसे आपके सवाल हैं, please take an appointment to get answers. This is the number. Surjit madam से मिलें. Fix an appointment. I and Manish would be available and Zoom पे हम मिल सकेंगे. Surjit का number is 9888199826. Email is utnmsurjit@gmail.com. We'll be more than happy to help you in this. Again, I pause for 2 seconds. If you wish to take a click of it, then I move on to the last slide. You can also meet me individually, me or Manish, and I can help you to do your individual profiling. And if you are confused, I can do this. Again, the same person, Surjit ko hi contact karna hai. 9888199826 is our number. Either you can WhatsApp her or contact her, and she'll be more than happy to give you my appointment. If you want a PDF of this presentation, you can send a hi to this WhatsApp number 77100004690. This is, you can send it over here and we will be happy to provide you a PPT of this presentation. Appointments ke liye Surjit, but PDF ke liye this number, I repeat again, 77100004690. Now we are both available for question answers. Please unmute yourself and you can ask us question answers. Thank you very much for listening through this PPT. It was a pretty long, it took us 1 hour, 5 minutes to complete this entire thing. But we tried to pack in information. I hope you liked the information. Now we are available for question answers. Myself and Manish.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please unmute.
Yes. Sir, are Nordic countries good for education like Norway, Sweden, Iceland, Denmark, Finland?
It's more than the quality. It is about language competency. You are going for an undergrad studies. Undergrad studies mean you need to be very proficient in their native language. That is the challenge. For master studies, these countries offer English programs, but for undergrad studies, the English programs are not really abundant available. So if you are okay to learn and adapt those to those languages, then they are great options, maybe great options. So that's my answer to that question.
Yes, sir. Sir, and one more. So are these procedures that you told in the PPT are applicable for other native speaking countries too, like their local languages, like any European country, other like Italy, Germany, or basically Nordic countries, some Asian countries, South Korea or Japan, if we do it properly? Or is there any different procedure for applying?
There is a different procedure. Like Germany follows a different process. These countries would follow a different process, and they would require first their language competency. They would require money to be deposited in a different account. They would follow a different process. So there, at least I would advise it would be better to proceed with masters there. There you would get English language competency courses. But yes, the answer is they follow a different process. It's not necessarily through the SAT route.
Okay, yes, sir. Sir, and I've read in many websites and colonies that countries like Norway and Switzerland, they provide many public universities also. They provide relatively low fee courses, like they have semester fees which are comparatively very low to the per year grading system. So, is that true for like University of Zurich or like that?
So I am not aware. Manish sir, if you could add wherever you can, let me just complete. I am not aware specifically about University of Zurich, but I can tell about Germany. Germany, I know there is free education, but to get an access into that free education, you need to go through our JE route, and you need to be in the top 1,000 rank of JE to get access to that free education. That is what I am aware of. I am not aware about University of Zurich. Manish sir?
No, sir. I think you have said it all. Raghav, see, it all depends, because being cheap or being costly is a subjective thing, and we'll not be able to comment on Sweden or Switzerland for that matter, because we don't work there, so we'll not know, and it will not be right on our part to say anything on that. So हम उस पे तो नहीं बोल पाएंगे कुछ.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Professor, I have one quick question here.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, my question is, my daughter is a US citizen. Yeah, we are there in US sometimes. Yeah, she's US citizen right now. We are in Navi Mumbai, Airoli. Yeah, and she's studying on 11th class, right? So, so when she want to go for the SAT exam, TOEFL, all those, right? Because almost last 10 years or 6 to 8 years she is studying in Indian CBSE board, right? Now question is, so she has to appear both SAT as well as the IELTS, right? This is one question. Second
Yes.
question, how she will be treated, when let's say apply for Harvard, Stanford, or other university based on the scopes and all, right? How that works? Have you come across with this kind of situation where kids are US citizen, but they are studying the Indian board of exam, and they want to go back for engineering and others? How that works?
अनुभव सर आप start कीजिए.
So, Mr. Mahapatra, well, our very second student was exactly this profile, what you're saying. This is Chirag Jain, who was a student over here. His father was working with Infosys. So, one of the, he was being born, they were in the US. So, he was a US citizen by birth, Chirag. But he completed all his basic education in India, right from schooling से लेकर high school India में ही complete करा. हमारे साथ काम पढ़ रहा था वो. So did he go through the same process? Yes, he went through the same process. Ashwin is also one of those child. Ashwin is born in UK. He is not an Indian citizen. Though Ashwin Deshpande का आपने interview सुना. So they have also gone through the same process. So the process remains exactly the same. You have to write the SAT, you have to do the application, and you have to secure an admission. The only change in the process is आपको visa के लिए apply नहीं करना है, and you have direct visa. So you have no visa restrictions. Second, you have access to more scholarship. Being a US citizen, you have access to more scholarships. Being an international student, you do not get scholarship access, but being a US citizen, you get access to their complete scholarship portfolio. That entire bucket, you get access to that. So these are the two things which you get better at, but rest of the entire process remains the same.
Okay, excellent. So, so here is probably I may go for one-to-one kind of counseling, but I'm just thinking that so she's at this moment doing OL over 98 and 99% on 10th board, right? Board it to come, but a term one all right, and she scored 98% with a lot of other medals and all, which is okay. The question is, for the scholar students, who are the scholar students and US citizen, so the kind of scholarship and how much expense and all, what is readiness, I have to do those kind of aspect, probably some form of knowledge I'm looking from you.
Okay, thank you very much. More questions? Any other questions?
Yes, I would like to ask one last question. Are there any countries that are a bit cheaper than in US or UK or Canada, because their currency is much higher than Indian rupees. So are there any other countries which are comparable to the Indian currency which we can afford?
So, Raghav, I think the best way to work on this would be to first understand your budget. It's not about currency and exchange rate. It's about your budget that you have and you are willing to spend for your higher studies. So, what you can do is you can meet us on one-on-one basis, and then we can understand your requirement and your budgetary constraints. And basis that, if there's anything that we can suggest, we can talk to you.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So
Arafat has a question.
Yes.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
2000 batch, glad to see you. Vashi, we were the first team of UT, seeing you after a very long time.
Are, namaste, namaste.
How are you, sir?
Ekdam theek, ekdam theek.
This time it's for my son. He's still in 7th, 8th, but I still were just pre-planning things, you know. So just was surfing through and got to know about your webinars. So thought of attending it. See you.
It's my privilege. It's my privilege कि you know I think मैं अब मेरे बाल निकल गए हैं, काफी कम हो रहे हैं.
Same here.
मेरे पढ़ाए हुए बच्चों को पढ़ाऊंगा अब मैं. I think it's my privilege. Very nice. बोलिए बोलिए.
Just wanted to know the 9th foundation batch. So how early in 8th should we reach you? So midway of the 8th, I mean, I'm going to start.
Earliest we start is in 9th. Nothing before 9th.
Okay, so I mean, admission to UT is also somewhere around 9th or?
9th. We start in 9th.
Okay, so we are still to meet in person.
Yes.
Definitely we will.
आप किसी दिन मेरे से आके मिलने, we can meet in Kharghar. I would in fact like to meet. अब हम Kharghar में बैठते हैं, Kharghar से operate कर रहे हैं. Vashi was when I started my journey. But अब मैं Kharghar में हूँ, तो if you could make yourself convenient to come and meet us at Kharghar, so we can meet over tea and discuss, and I can give you a broad idea of how you can plan your kids' journey.
Definitely, sir. I will definitely meet you. Definitely. Really nice to see you.
Same here.
Take care, sir. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Hello.
Mr. Dattare.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. So basically, I'm in 11th standard right now. And I also wish to give SAT and TOEFL. But I don't live in Mumbai. So if I want to do the online classes, how do I, where can I get the details for this?
Which place are you connecting us from?
Pune.
Pune. Okay. So what you can do is you can call on this number, which is Surjit's number. She is also our study abroad coordinator. And students do join us from various parts of India, and they do online classes. So you can talk to her. She'll tell you how does this work. This would happen on Zoom. So you will get a fixed Zoom ID, and then you need to connect on that ID every time for your class. Classes would happen twice a week. And every time you meet, it will be a 2 hours class. So we do one English class and one maths class per week, and this goes for 16 weeks. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So you can call up Surjit, and then she can send you the proposal after understanding what all courses you need. TOEFL is part of our SAT training. So if you are taking SAT by default, you know, you get TOEFL training free of cost.
Okay.
Preeti Agarwal, please unmute and ask your question.
Preeti Agarwal, you're there? Yes. Please ask your question. I think she just left. Is she there, sir?
No, she's there.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Hanji, I am calling from my wife's mobile, Preeti Agarwal, actually.
Okay.
I have two sons. One is doing his first year engineering, which is going to be completed in the next month, and he'll be going to the second year of engineering. And the other one is in the 12th.
Okay.
So apparently,
I think we might be getting a Canadian visa in the next 2 to 3 months, hopefully. So my question is, suppose if we migrate to Canada, my younger son who is in 12th, if I have to take the admission in Canada in 12th, or they will be considering him one step down like 11th?
No sir, आप मतलब I would advise आप 12th यहाँ पे complete करके जाइए उसका,
अच्छा,
और उसका वहां का फर्स्ट ईयर का एडमिशन कंफर्म हो जाएगा वहां पे।
नहीं सर, ये थोड़ा सा डाइसी सिचुएशन है।
आप ना सर हमसे इंडिविजुअली 1-on-1 मिलेंगे तो हम आपको बेस्ट सोल्यूशन एडवाइस कर सकेंगे कि आपके लिए क्या बेस्ट रहेगा।
अच्छा, ठीक है सर, ठीक
एक
है।
अपॉइंटमेंट ले लीजिए मेरा या मनीष का, सुरजीत के पास इस नंबर पे, तो फिर ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा सर।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है, थैंक यू।
AB. The screen name is AB. Yes.
Yeah, I have one question. I missed the initial part. Is it better to go for abroad studies after 12th, or better after completion of the graduation? So basically going for masters, which is better?
Okay, so I'll go first. So may I know your full name, please, because that helps me address you properly.
Rajesh, it's Rajesh.
Okay. So, Mr. Rajesh, this is a classic question that is asked, but, the answer is not straight because you cannot really compare these two options. This is like, comparing apple with oranges, as we say. So, to give you a straightforward answer, it's not possible which is better. It largely depends upon what are your goals and objectives. Traditionally, if you see, हमने presentation में भी बोला था, doing masters was more preferable. But of late, if you see, let's say a decade or so, you will see that there's a lot of interest that has started coming up for undergrad courses now. So ये इस तरह से compare करना बहुत मुश्किल होगा, and there is no one thumb rule or a straight answer that I can give you, which is better. ये तो बहुत मुश्किल होगा. So there should be some parameters जिस पे आप कुछ compare करना चाहते हैं. An objective, largely what objective you have. You want to work there, you want to settle in that country. So there are a lot of things that you'll have to actually look into and then decide which is good for you. There's nothing absolute better or worse. Anu sir?
If I can just add one thing sir, इसमें क्या हो गया है, देखिए सबसे बड़ा डिफरेंस इज मास्टर्स करने जा रहे हैं तो आपका 2 साल का ही खर्चा लगेगा, आपकी कॉस्ट कंपैरेटिवली कम आएगी. बट आप अंडरग्रेड करने जा रहे हैं तो आपका 4 साल का खर्चा लगेगा, तो यू विल हैव 4 years ऑफ कॉस्ट. दैट्स वन वे ऑफ डिफरेंशिएटिंग इट. बट अगर आप मास्टर्स करने जाएंगे तो आपको वहां पे यूएस में सपोज आप रह रहे हो और आपको वहां पे वीजा चाहिए, तो जो सिंदर पिचाई या सारी दुनिया ने, जिन्होंने, जैसे मैं वहां पे एमबीए करने गया था और फिर मैं 3 साल के बाद वापस आ गया. सो अगर तो पहले के टाइम के बच्चे, मेरी उम्र के बच्चे और आपकी उम्र के बच्चे अगर देखेंगे तो दीज किड्स वर प्राइमरीली, इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड एंड अप्रिशिएट, ये बच्चों ने मास्टर्स करी, फिर पीएचडी करी, ऐसे करके वहां पे 6-7 साल 8 साल रहे, एंड देन दे गॉट द वीजा, और फिर उनको ग्रीन कार्ड मिल गया और फिर वो लोग वहां पे अमेरिकन सिटीजन्स बने, एंड दैट्स हाउ दे हैव डन देयर जर्नी ओवर. अब आप अगर अंडरग्रेड करने जाओगे तो आप ये सारा काम 4 साल पहले चालू करोगे, and by the time you become masters, you would be able to get away. So in that sense, again, उधर कॉस्ट ज्यादा लगेगी अगर आप अंडरग्रेड करने जाओगे, और मास्टर्स में कॉस्ट कम लगेगी. बट उधर आपको अंडरग्रेड करने में आपको वीजा मिलने की प्रोबेबिलिटी हाई हो जाएगी, बिकॉज आपने उतना समय स्पेंड कर लिया. तो ये सब आपके ऊपर डिसीजन है कैसे लेना है. अब अगर आप इंडिया में एज अ ट्रेंड देखोगे तो there is a huge number of jump in undergrad made applications. So there's a huge jump. So there's a trend shift over there.
Okay. And one more question, sir. These SAT exams, are they applicable for both US and UK or only US?
Sir, they are compulsorily for US. UK they are optional, but they are recommended. US में largely required हैं, UK में they are not mandatory requirement. लेकिन SAT से you help to create a profile where you demonstrate to the university. अगर आप top university में ऑक्सफोर्ड, कैम्ब्रिज में अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं, UCL में अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं, Imperial में अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं, तो with that SAT score you try to tell them that you are better than the best.
Okay.
अगर आप you are an average student, then it is not required in UK. US में it's a mandatory requirement.
Okay. Okay.
I like to, yeah, I would like to know that if somebody wants to pursue his MBA abroad, then is it a 1-year program or is it a 2-year program? Or one can even opt for a 1-year program in certain countries?
Yes, absolutely. So the second one, so it depends which university, what courses and which country you're applying to. Management MBA program could be from 1 year to 2 years. And within same country, different universities could offer it differently. Traditionally, MBA is a 2-year program, but yes, you do get 12 months program as well. 18 months, 12 months, 24 months, alag-alag ho sakte hain.
Okay, so and the ones which are offer this 12 to 18 months program, do they have the same selection criteria like for the undergrad program?
So if you want to do MBA, the exam that you'll have to write would be different. You may have to write an exam called GMAT, GMAT, plus IELTS. So, and the selection criteria would be different. Many universities, especially the reputed ones, they would want a minimum of 2 years of work experience after your graduation if you are planning to do management course with them. So there could be different requirements.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We are largely done. Thank you very much. I hope it was. एक हमने feedback डाला था. Please request कि वो feedback link chat पे है. उसको आप please click करें. आप chat box खोलें. And this is something which we really prepare. तो अगर आप हमको